Namaste everyone. In my previous lecture, we have discussed about the key features of the federalism. And today we will discuss about the kinds of routes through which federations have been formed. So you have coming together federation and holding together federations. The exact balance of power between center and states are varies from one federation to another. So let's begin with the first type of routes through which federation have been formed, and that is coming together federation. Now coming together federations. In this type of federation, independent states coming together on their own. They all states coming together on their own and form a bigger unit. And they try to maintain their sovereignty and try to increase their security by coming together. And this type of coming together federation is in Australia, USA and Switzerland. And all the constituent states in this type of federation, all the constituent states have equal powers and they are as strong as federalism. Now, holding together federation. Students, in the second route is where a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. And India, Spain, Belgium, these are the examples of this kind of holding together federations. And holding together federations implies that the country is divided into states, but the central government tends to be more powerful than the states. So that's a basic difference between coming together federation and holding together federation. And students, very often, if we will take the example of India, different constituent units of the federations have unequal powers and some units are granted special power. As before 2019, Jammu and Kashmir enjoy the special power. Now students, the question arises, what makes India federal country? The Constitution of India clearly specifies threefold distribution of legislative powers between center and the state government. Thus it contains three lists. First is union list, second is state list, third is concurrent list, and fourth point is residuary power. So let's start from first list, that is union list. In this list includes subjects of national importance. For example, you can say defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. And these subjects are included in this list because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. And the important thing is here, the central government has power to make laws relating to the subject mentioned in the union list. Now, state list. It includes matters of state level and local level importance, such as police, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. And the state government alone can make laws relating to the subject mentioned in the state list. Now, the third list is concurrent list. Students, in concurrent list includes subjects of common interest both for the central government and for the union government, such as education, forest, trade union, marriage, adoption, etc. And union government and as well as state government both can make laws on all those subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. And if their laws conflict with each other, the laws made by union government will prevail. The next is residuary subjects. Students, subjects which do not fall in any of the three lists, mean union list, state list or concurrent list, are included in the residuary subjects, and these contain subjects like computer, software, and that came up after the constitution was made. Students, union government has the power to legislate on these residuary subject also. So these provisions make India a federal country. So students, this is all about the coming together federation, holding together federations, and what makes India a federal country. Thank you.